Welcome back. Now, in March, the federal government announced that the retail price of petrol would be adjusted monthly to reflect realities actually in the global crude oil market as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, which is affecting global economies. The pump price was fixed at 125 naira per litre in March and later reviewed downwards in April to 123 naira 50 kobo. As of July, the retail price had been adjusted to 148 naira 80 kobo per litre. Now, this development has prompted marketers to hike the pump price of petrol to between 148 and 150 naira per litre. Still, the COVID-19 impact continues to bite harder. The latest data of unemployment by the National Bureau of Statistics is also not pleasing. Statistics show that Nigeria's unemployment rate rose by 27.1% in the second quarter of 2020, while underemployment rate also rose to 28.6%. Joining me now to discuss all of this is Paul Alaje, who is a financial analyst. He joins us via Skype from Abuja. Mr. Alaje, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Let us start off with the unemployment figure now released by the National Bureau of Statistics. Unemployment, of course, rising to 27.1%. What do you make of that?
Well,
is it in any way surprising to you?
Well, I should say that I'm not surprised, and that I'm also concerned. We were expecting figure that could be as high as 33%, but the figure is not as high as this because of intervention coming from different authorities, a monetary authority particularly. So I'm not surprised at all that we have 27.1%. When you look at how the pandemic has really had so much impact on Nigeria economy, coupled with the lockdown decision and gradual ease of lockdown, you know that more is expected. Before the pandemic, which concerns this report of the unemployment to come out of the current economic quagmire situation that we found in the past period. So I'm not really surprised when you look at what has happened to both unemployment and unemployment. 27.1 plus 28.6. If you put the two together, you have close to 56%. What that means, in fact, is that out of 100% of Nigerians that are willing and able to work, about 56%, more than half of them cannot. And what that also means, so that we paint the picture correctly, in case people argue with you that the National Bureau of Statistics have not done, they have not been truthful. They are not talking about the entire Nigerian population. What they are talking about is labor force, which is approximately 80 million Nigerians. By implication, 120 million Nigerians are not able, they are not classified as labor force. They are either students or people that are too old and are too young. So the entire population needs to rely on 80 million people. Of these 80 million people, we are saying 27.1% of them are unemployed, 28.6% of them are underemployed. That will worry any country. And of course, it's a huge worry for me as an economist and a lot of my colleagues around the country today.
Let us break down that the figures now released by the Statistics Bureau further. You look at the figure. Of course, you've talked about the situation of unemployment, because when you add that with those who are unemployed, of course, as you have said, it paints a very bleak picture. Now, but in terms of the gender of those who are unemployed, we continue to see the increasing number of women who are unemployed in the country. I mean, they are on the high side. There are more women who are unemployed in the country than men. What do you think is driving that?
Well, the largest, and I think, is belief and religion. If you look at some regions in the country today, it is believed that women should take a place at home. Apart from that, there are so many jobs that are available that also provide jobs such as engineering job. It is also believed that women are not best suited for these kinds of jobs. So you have religion, you have cultural belief, you also have the nature of job that is not permitting more and more women to be engaged. And look at the report National Bureau of Statistics released last year, I think last quarter last year, about betting. It will shock you that more women are now getting engaged in betting, and they are closing up the gap with their male counterpart. What that tells you is when you allow women to visit the workshop of the devil, whatever instrument they find there is what they will engage. When our culture, our religion, and our belief system isolate women even before the pandemic starts, then they may just want to visit the devil's workshop. Remember, devil does not have holes in his workshop. It is only evil that he has out there. And that is why you continue to see more and more increase among female folks, particularly when it comes to the issue of unemployment. And we could not continue to believe that men alone should work. I strongly believe that a lot of women can do, from politics to engineering to consulting to administration, banking, etc., etc. I think we just need to leave a place for women, for them to show their dexterity and their talent, just like the male counterparts.
To be honest, I can't agree more with you, because I think the level of discrimination against women across our society is actually a problem, and it's the reason why we have this high number of unemployed women. Now let's look at the population of young people who are not employed. That must be worrying. The statistics figures say between the ages of 35 to 18 now to 34 who are not employed actually is 29.7%. That must be very worrying.
Is a whole lot of worry, because when you look at economies such as United States, when you look at economies such as United Arab Emirates, those are the economic drivers. Now, when the economic drivers have left their driving seats and we don't have robots to drive us, you should not be surprised that rather than having increased growth, we're having reduced growth. National Bureau of Statistics, again, I refer to, had reported the economy has slowed down in the Q1 report that is shared from 2.27% to 1.87%. What that means is most of the people that would have driven our economy are perhaps excluded in terms of jobs, perhaps because of education, perhaps because of insufficiency in terms of jobs that are available. But something is clear, we are not providing enough jobs for them all.
And for you, you look at all of this and the fact that COVID-19 is still very much here with us. We still have restrictions in place. The economy is not back to full swing, not just in Nigeria, but across the world. How bad do you think things can get for Nigeria before they get better?
Several economies around the world, several authorities around the world have projected Nigerian unemployment by fourth quarter 2020 to go as high as 40%. For our organization at Explain Professional, our projection is about 35%. What it means is that we still observe that the figure may even go worse from the figure we have today. Because when you look at the policies we put in place, those drivers, the things that can mop up huge unemployment figure, we have not started putting them in place. And I will share one with you. Countries such as United States, Britain, and China, and permit me to include India, when they saw huge figure of unemployment, what predated most of their development is unemployment figure and protest on several major streets from New York in America to so many other countries. Now, what they've done is, who are the real employers? Is it government or private sector? And in private sector, what sector will mop up a lot of people? It remains manufacturing. America became great not because it's so big in terms of ICT or security, but it became great when it started paying attention to manufacturing. China is also great because it started paying attention to manufacturing. United Arab Emirates, you would think is tourism, but that is not true. It is because of real estate. So many people who want to see beautiful side, you cannot have a side that you have not built. So construction, manufacturing is the way to go. If you look at what we have in Nigeria today, according again to National Bureau of Statistics, manufactured goods account for our largest import. According to the report shared between 2018 Q4 and 2019 Q4. What it means also on the television, I can bet you 90% of those people must have imported those phones or those television, or in fact the laptop they will use to watch, they are watching us with as we speak right now. So the truth is, if we want to mop up more and more people, and we don't want the matter to go from worst to worst, what we need to do is to formulate policy. And what is happening right now is FX. It's very challenging for importers of machines that will engage people to get access to FX, even at either 379 forward rate or 381 IME window. So people are being pushed to go to parallel market to access funds at over 480 naira to $1. How can these individuals run their businesses? So I think government must, as a matter of urgency, formulate policy because of the ongoing impact of the pandemic that is asking for too much. He asks for two things. When they say this is a house, he say your life or your money. But the pandemic is saying your life and your money. That is why on your television station every night, we see the new report, and you also see the economy at large going down. Two things at the same time. Government must not just save life, they must save also our money by supporting manufacturers, so that the more and more production we have, the more and more output we have, like America, like China, India, and also like United Arab Emirates, we will save our teeming population from poverty, deprivation, and hunger.
And just before I let you go, let's quickly talk about the issue of petrol. The government, of course, announced some time ago that it has actually lifted subsidy now, that there's no more subsidy in petrol. But of course, that is still very arguable because the PPRA continues to fix a price. Of course, the price of petrol is going up. Now it's selling at about 150 naira per litre. A lot of people are complaining, but the truth is, can the government afford to continue to put these subsidies in place, especially now that revenue earning is very much challenged? Do you think the government should continue along this trajectory now and allow market forces to determine the price of petrol?
Thank you. So it's going to be economics versus politics. Now, I see President Buhari with Kevin, once the price of petrol is equivalent of $8.8 per litre, what we have now is still less than $0.8. It's still about 50 to 60 cents. Once it gets to $0.8, whatever conversion rate it is, Nigerians have never bought. They've never the patient. President Obasanjo tried it twice. He burnt his fingers. President Jonathan thought he was going to do it in 2012. President Jonathan could not even return in 2015, even though President Buhari had no further vision. But his great party, APC, we have a lot to lose if they continue.
But do you think the economy as it is today can actually sustain the return of subsidy?
That is economics. In economics, you cannot continue to maintain subsidy. In economics, it does not make sense. So continue to put subsidy, to maintain subsidy in Nigeria in economy as we have it, does not make sense. We need to remove subsidy and it should be zero. However, people that will make decisions are politicians. They are not economists. And they have not done the needful. The needful will be to cushion the effect, I beg your pardon, of the impact of removal of fuel subsidy by providing perhaps luxurious buses for some rural community, perhaps helping labour in terms of revenue, but all of those have not been done. So how do you think Labour will accept it? How do you think Nigerians, those we said about 60% of them are earning less than $1.90 a day. How do you think they will cope with this? I bet it with you. No president has been able to do 80 cents per liter in Nigeria, and I doubt if President Buhari will see this through.
Well, I guess we're stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea then. Thank you very much, Paul Alaje, for joining us on the program, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Yeah. Well, that's how much we can take on the program this week. We thank you very much for watching. But if you want to watch the program again, it's just simple. Go to our website, tv360nigeria.com. You'll find this program and lots more there. You can also follow the conversation on our various social media platforms. Thanks for watching once again. Bye-bye. I'll see you next week.